Hello and welcome to Knit Felt. Today I'm going to show you a simple trick in how I've chosen to do my casting on for knitting in the round. I've seen lots of other people doing it in different ways, but because I'm a simple sort, I have tried to find the most simple way that I can work with most effectively. So I've got here just a small sample of some of the 100% yarn that I use inside my knitting kits. And this is British made, and we've just gone for sort of like a mid-grey colour here. And I've also got my 4 double pointed pins, which are in a size 4mm. So to start off with the casting on, I'm just going to take one of the pins, and because we're knitting in the round and you're working on 3 needles at any one time, with the 4th needle, your active needle, you need to spread your stitches evenly over the 3 pins. So the number that you cast on needs to be divisible by 3. So I'm going to cast on 21 stitches. And to begin that, I just start off with a simple slip knot, just like this. And start with the thumb cast on method and just pop that onto my pin, pull it tight, and then I'm going to cast on 21 stitches. Now, because this is a natural wool fibre which is suitable for felting, you find that it's quite sort of fluffy and the fibres sort of are quite loose on the yarn, so sometimes they can get a little bit tangled at this stage, so you just need to keep your eye on it and make sure that you don't get any snags. So I'm just going to count up where I'm up to, and then we can get on with the rest to make up the 21. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 and 21. Okay, so I've got my 21 stitches on there, and just check 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21. Lovely. So to evenly distribute these over the 3 needles that we're going to create the circular knitting with, all I do is I just take another one of the needles and just slip them on. Don't knit them on, just slip them over. So I need to slip over 7 stitches onto this pin. 4, 5, 6, 7. Pop that into the middle of the pin so it stays nice and safe. Just let that one dangle, and then to continue, just get another 7 onto my 3rd pin. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now we have our 7 stitches on each pin there, and they're ready to start working on for doing the knitting in the round. So to join this up so that you've got a circular, then I just start off, got a bit tangled up there. I'm going to work with the opposite sides to where my yarn is, so I've got my tail end and my yarn on this side. This one is my middle pin, and then this one is the opposite one. So I'm going to slide the stitches up to that one because I'm going to be working on this pin. You'll notice it's at the top of the other 2 pins as well, so that it's the one that is easily accessible. and then ensuring that I use the yarn end and not the tail end, which is easily done. Bring that round to the back, and with my 4th pin I'm then going to start to knit. So with this first stitch your yarn will attach itself round to create the circle. Now I'm pulling this nice and tight so that we don't get it all sort of floppy. Now this first round is a little bit tricky. Your needles can swing around a little bit. So long as you stay focused and you know which one you're working on, you should be okay. You want to try and keep it quite tight at this stage, which also makes it a little bit more tricky. And then as your work progresses, you'll be able to loosen up a bit. Okay, so we've done the first one. Then this pin then becomes your active pin. We'll just pop that down. I'm then going to pop this one around the back of the next one along, which is this one. Slide my stitches into the middle of the pin to make it a little bit more stable. And then you'll see that this one is now on the top because I'm going to be working on this one. Now these stitches have got a little bit twisted around the pin. It doesn't really matter. Because of the fact that we're going to be felting our wool, any little discrepancies like that are completely hidden in the felting process. So taking the yarn again, making sure it's not getting tangled around the other pins, we're just concentrating on this one and this one. So we'll go around these. Getting a little bit of fingers and thumbs there. Just take your time. Okay, so we have the used pin there again, and as before, sliding that to the back, pin into the middle, so stitches into the middle, and then we're going to work on the 3rd and final pin to complete the round. Ensuring I've got the right one, almost took the wrong one there. And the other pins dangling around, it doesn't cause any problems. You just need to ensure that you try and just keep the control as much as you can. And that is my final stitch in completing the round. Now this is a little bit loose here. Not to worry, you can tighten that up simply by just pulling that tight. And then the more rounds that you do, to either create a tube, or in the case of most of my animals in the knit kits, you start to increase at this point. The needles will become a lot more stable, and they won't wiggle around quite as much. You will end up with something a little bit like this the more that you work on it. And as you can see, as the knit stitches increase, your needles won't sort of flop around as much. So a little bit of patience needed. In the next video I'll be showing how to do an increase, and all my stitches are the simplest that they can possibly be, because as I say, I am a very simple sort. So look out for the next videos. We'll be doing increases, decreases, and lots of other handy tips on how to use a Knit to Felt kit. Thank you.